There's something I like to call a prospect readiness phase, and I figured that there are about 7 of them. Someone else could probably come up with 10, and someone else might say there's only 5. But the way I see it, there's 7 of them, and if you were to come up with more than that, well, then it's just a subcategory of one of these. So it's more of really a scale from disinterested to totally interested, and it's a sliding thing, so there's actually kind of like an infinite number of little phases that they could be on. But here's the broad categories, and here's kind of how prospects are coming to your site and where they're at mentally. And you need to know this so that you can structure your sequences properly. Now, when someone comes to your website, they could be in any one of these prospect readiness phases, and you're going to see the higher the number, the more glad you are to have them on your website. But also, understanding that they could be in any one of these phases, you can lead them through the sequence to have them progress through these phases. So let me explain this step by step. The first prospect readiness phase is the prospect is curious about a topic. So this happens even before they come to your website. They have to have some kind of a curiosity. If they're not curious, they're not going to be on your website, right? Because they had to be curious enough to click on a link or type in www.com or had to do search and then end up clicking on your website. They got there somehow, so they have to be somewhat curious. Even if it was an accident, let's just say that they're curious, okay? Let's assume they're curious about the topic somehow, rather than accidentally showing up on your site. If they're accidentally on your site, they might leave. That's okay. We'll forget about them. In general, they're curious about your site. They're kind of wondering if there's something more to this topic or this niche or this information, but they're not sure. They really don't know anything about it. They may have seen an ad on TV for something similar, and they're just looking online. The curiosity could have been aroused because they saw like a Google AdWords ad and just were compelled to click on it because they were excited and they were curious and it intrigued them. Or maybe they read a free report that had like a little link to your website. So they don't know much, but they're just curious about the topic. Now at some point, they're going to enter the second phase, and that's phase 2. And by the way, they don't have to go in this order. They could kind of skip over one of these phases without ever fully going through it. That's okay. This is the natural progression, and some people have already gone through some of these phases, but we'll just pretend that someone's going through them all just for the illustrative purpose. So the second phase is that the prospect does preliminary research. They might have been curious and they ended up about a topic. Somehow they found a page, whether it was accidental or not, but they were curious, so they read the page, they liked what they saw. Well, now they're going to go doing some preliminary research. Again, they might progress through all these phases within a few minutes. It can happen really fast. They could be curious about your website by clicking on an ad, and they can go through all these websites. The preliminary research could be nothing more than just reading your website. Sometimes preliminary research is going to other websites and looking for comparisons just to see what's out there in the niche that provides this type of information. Whatever the type of information is, doesn't matter. So it's some type of niche content. I'm always talking about the same niche, though, when I'm talking about this prospect readiness phases. So if someone's interested in a topic like stock trading, well, they have the 7 readiness phases for stock trading. Now, they might already be at a different phase for gardening. They might be a number 7 phase in gardening, but they're a number 1 phase in stock trading. Each niche for each person has like its own readiness phases they have to go through for that particular info. So they do preliminary research where they're just scouting around and looking for stuff just to see what's out there, just to learn a little more about it. Then there's a third phase, but this is where the prospect does some serious research. Serious research is, it might be that they're looking for free information that kind of satisfies their problem or helps them to learn more about this information. But it's a little more than just looking around just for curiosity and just to get some initial fact-finding done. Serious research is they're looking for solutions. Now, on the internet, a lot of people start their searches looking for free information. So don't be afraid if someone wants something free from you. You're actually going to want to give them good free stuff so that they end up buying from you. But they're doing research, and it's serious. They really want solutions and answers and more information on this topic. And they're probably looking for it for free at this point because they're not sure what's out there. The fourth prospect readiness phase is the prospect is interested enough to study free material. So they've been to all the sites, They found a few free courses that people are offering. It might be your free course, but it could be someone else's free course that they're studying. They're committed enough to now cough up their email address to sign up to get the free course. They're signing up for the free material with the intention of studying it. They actually want to learn what the free course is all about, and in their minds, they're not ready to pay for anything yet, but they want the free information because they actually want to apply the free information, and they want to study it, and they want to learn from it. It's not just that you're tricking them into sign up for the free material. When they're doing their preliminary research or their serious research, or even in the curiosity phase, they may sign up for the free course just because of good marketing, because it looked kind of cool, but they're not really serious about it yet. So in any of the first 4 phases, they could be signing up for your free course, but it's the 4th phase where they're interested enough to study the free material. Now, if you can get them to the 4th phase, the sale is inevitable, because once they read through all your free courses and stuff, they're going to realize that your paid course is actually much more valuable, and just for a few dollars, they can get way more stuff. It's the natural evolution here for them to go through the phases kind of in this order. Even if they signed up for the free course earlier, once they start actually reading the free course and getting interested in it, that's when they're in phase 4.